Hello and welcome to this free mandolin lesson. In the next 10 or 12 minutes we're going to be looking at a way to improve your right hand technique. I call this the constant eighth note exercise, and this is applicable to any standard of mandolin player. Everyone should have a go at this just to see how their right hand is doing. What we're going to do is we're going to take a tune, say for example, Will the Circle Be Unbroken? But we fill in all the gaps with constant eighth notes. And that sounds like this. Everything we talk about in this lesson is included in a free PDF, which is linked in the description below, so you don't have to do any of this by ear. So I want to start off with a few exercises just to get you in the mindset of what's happening here. So if we take the very simple one octave G scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. And if we play those as though each note is a minim or a half note, so each note lasts 2 beats, that would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And if you counting it out, it would be like this. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're counting notes, one half note or a minim is equal to 4 eighth notes or 4 quavers. I'm going to refer to them as eighth notes for this lesson. I know that's how most of my views are in America, and I know you call them eighth notes. In the UK, we call them quavers, but eighth notes is what we're going to call them today. So one half note is 4 eighth notes. So instead of playing that scale as half notes, we can play it with each note lasting the same amount of time. So each note still lasts 2 beats. We just now fill in all the gaps with our pick strokes. So that would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you were to count it, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what if you said the same notes, but you played them as quarter notes? So now your scale is this. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter notes are the same as 2 eighth notes. So for every one of those notes, we can have 2 notes now. So again, we keep the same length in the left hand, but now the right hand fills in the gaps. That now sounds like this. 3, 4. And now if we took that to one of the most well-known melodies out there, let's just pick Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is all in quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as we just did in the other exercise, eighth notes, 2 eighth notes is 1 quarter note. So Twinkle Twinkle Star, with the same principle, so we keep the note lasting the same amount of time, would sound like this. 3, 4. And so on. So why am I making you do this? Why is this a useful exercise? Well, it's all to do with the right hand, and previous viewers of Mando Mike videos will have heard me blabbering on about pick direction. And when we're in sort of normal fiddle tune time signature, so 4/4, our right hand should be connected to the beat. So we're playing down on the beat and up off the beat. So if you think back to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, every note falls on the beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Every single note hits and all the ands are missing. So that's why it's all down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So every single note is falling on the beat. But if you watch what my right hand is doing, it is actually you still have to make the upstroke movement to get ready for the next downstroke. So my right hand is doing this all the time. It's basically tapping out the constant eighth notes. This becomes even more obvious when you play a fiddle tune. So if I took Red-Haired Boy as an example, so this is the opening line to Red-Haired Boy. And if I was to play exactly the same clip, but I'm just going to put it on mute, watch my right hand. You can see that although the melody, the sort of the rhythm of the melody is a mixture. So you've got some notes where it's 2 quarter notes in a row, da 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 da, and then you've got sequences where it's 8 notes in a row, and then there's a quarter note within a sequence of it. So the rhythm is quite different. But my right hand, irrespective of rhythm, is doing this. So one way to think about the right hand is if your right hand is constantly moving, then your pick directions will be correct. Because if you're just doing this, you can't possibly do a double up or a double down that shouldn't be there because you're tapping the beat with your right hand. So that's why this exercise is so useful for any standard. What you're doing is you're getting your right hand used to just basically tapping out constant eighth notes. Just that constant movement. If you watch any good mandolin player's right hand, it's just moving all the time. It's not going. It's not only moving when it has to, it starts going and it doesn't stop. Now let's try this for 3 different standards. So we'll start with a beginner tune. So if you take a tune like Old Joe Clark, which hopefully a tune you have all played, and if you haven't, I won't go through it in the lesson. I don't want this video to be too long. I'll link the video to Old Joe Clark in the description. So Old Joe Clark is very similar to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's all on the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's play that melody, and I'll add on a guitar playing some accompaniment so you can hear it. Let's play it with a metronome. Constant eighth notes. Just get your hand moving. And if this is too quick, you can slow me down with the cog, but here we go. Let's just try 2 A's, 2 B's of Old Joe Clark. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second line. And again. B part. And the cool thing is, if you were to then put 2 videos side by side of me playing the melody and me playing that, my right hand would look identical in either one. You can't tell that I'm hitting the upstroke. So it's a really cool exercise. I'm not saying you have to relearn the tune like this. This is just an exercise to get the feeling of that constant eighth notes. Now let's try a slightly harder example. We'll do the example that I did at the start of the video. So we'll do the Will the Circle Be Unbroken? And again, I won't go through the melody because it's quite a simple melody. You should all know it. So this is a bit harder because there's sort of some again, everything would not be on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So every note's still on the beat, but it's just sort of some weird gap length. So you don't really have to worry about every minute timing. It's that feeling of... It's sort of the brain, for me, my brain is split in half. So my left hand is still just playing the melody. My left hand's almost not getting involved in this constant eighth notes. And then equally, this hand's not getting involved in the melody. It's just going. It's away. So I very much have got a split brain going on. So I'll put the metronome again and give it a try. You might not get the phrasing of each individual note perfect. But just, sort of try and get as close as you can. Advanced players, you can be really particular with it. But for intermediate players, this is more just that feeling of never stopping in this hand. And again, you wouldn't play the solo like this. This is just as an exercise. 1, 2. This principle could be applied to any fiddle tune, so you could just pick any fiddle tune like Redhead Boy. So you just keep your right hand going. To actually set an advanced challenge, it's quite hard because a lot of advanced tunes are already mostly eighth notes anyway. But I did think of one that I think is quite a challenge, and it's called the Panhandle Rag. And again, I won't go through the full melody. There's plenty of other mandolin lessons out there for Panhandle Rag. We're just going to dive straight in and do the constant eighth note. So I'm going to keep the metronome about the same. It's sort of 120 BPM, but you're kind of going for this feel. And the difficulty this time is a lot of the melody changes happen off the beat. So, 2, 3, 4, and. So there's a melody change on and of 4. So it's now no longer sort of big blocks of groups of 4 of the same note. And you have to be a bit more aware of what's going on. But again, this is just constant eighth notes. So the right hand is just doing this. Again, you could just mute me and it would look identical to as if my right hand was playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Challenges there are all with your right hand playing constant eighth notes, and I keep saying this is an exercise, so I'm not saying you would ever play Panhandle Rag like that, but it's a good way. I use it to count, so you can see my right hand doesn't stop, even though the melody lasts for 1, 2, 3, 4. So the melody is almost 4 beats long, and it really helps me play the right melody because I know which pick stroke to come in. I'm almost not even thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just letting my right hand lead me on that one. So really useful to have that right hand set. And you watch any great mandolin player, their right hand is perfect in this exercise. So I hope you've learned something. You now try this on any other tune. Try it on every single tune you know. It has to be in 4 though. It won't work in jigs. I hope you've enjoyed this. We'll be back next month with full lessons rather than just a nerdy mandolin exercise. But I hope you've learned something. Please do sort of take it away and incorporate it into your warm-up routine. Head over to mandomike.com for all the other free lessons we've ever done, and we'll see you next month.